Imagine walking up to a building and being told you can't use the front door. Not because it's locked, not because it's broken, but because of the color of your skin. For nearly a century, this wasn't imagination. This was daily life for millions of Black Americans. Today, we remember a painful chapter of American history that many of us lived through. This is a story we must never forget. The reality of segregation. From the 1870s through the 1960s, laws across the American South, and in many northern areas, enforced racial segregation in nearly every aspect of daily life. Signs were everywhere. White only. Colored. 2 water fountains side by side, identical except for the signs above them. 2 waiting rooms in the same train station, separated by a wall. 2 entrances to the same building. Front door for white people, back or side door for Black people. This was Jim Crow, a system of laws designed to keep races separate and maintain white supremacy after slavery ended. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't hidden. It was official policy, enforced by law and backed by violence. Separate and unequal. The Supreme Court's 1896 Plessy v. Ferguson decision established separate but equal as constitutional. But separate was never equal. Black schools received far less funding than white schools. Their buildings were older, their textbooks outdated hand-me-downs, their facilities inferior in every way. Black patients waited in separate, often shabby waiting rooms at doctors' offices and hospitals. Restaurants had colored sections, usually in back, near the kitchen. Even the military was segregated. Black soldiers fought for American freedom in 2 world wars while being denied basic freedoms at home. The daily humiliation. Try to imagine the daily indignities. A Black professional, a doctor, teacher, or businessman, dressed in a suit, carrying a briefcase, had to enter buildings through back entrances. Black travelers couldn't stop at just any restaurant or hotel. They needed special guidebooks, like the Negro Motorist Green Book, listing the few establishments that would serve them. Rosa Parks' famous 1955 refusal to give up her seat wasn't about sitting in the white section. She was in the colored section. She'd had enough. The North wasn't innocent. While Jim Crow laws were primarily Southern, the North had its own forms of segregation. Neighborhoods were segregated through restrictive covenants. The children who integrated schools. In 1957, 9 Black teenagers in Little Rock, Arkansas, attempted to attend Central High School. They were met by angry mobs. 6-year-old Ruby Bridges, in 1960, needed federal marshals to protect her as she became the first Black child to integrate an elementary school in New Orleans. The movement that changed everything. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s challenged segregation through protests, sit-ins, freedom rides, and marches. Martin Luther King Jr. led marches demanding equality. Peaceful protesters were met with police dogs, fire hoses, and billy clubs. Slowly, painfully, change came. The laws that ended it. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. It ended legal segregation in public places. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 protected Black Americans' right to vote. Those signs came down. White only and colored were removed. While we must remember, many seniors watching this lived through segregation. These aren't distant historical events. This happened in living memory. Never again should anyone be told which door they can use because of the color of their skin. Let's honor this history by learning from it.